From Astrid secretly hunting trolls to a dark theory that Toothless may have doomed his own bloodline, today we're breaking down 10 hidden things you didn't notice in How to Train Your Dragon. But first, if you love Toothless, drop a dragon emoji. Number 1. Hiccup's outfit tells the whole story, and most people never noticed. What if I told you Hiccup's entire character arc was hiding in his clothes the whole time? In the first film, he wears a lighter green outfit. It looks exactly like what it is. The clothing of a boy who hasn't figured out who he is yet. Uncertain, young, still searching for where he belongs. By the second film, the green is gone. His outfit shifts to darker, more practical browns. He's tougher now, more confident, more capable in battle. The lighter tones left with his innocence. And by the third film, he's in darker, heavier armor. His look becomes almost severe because his responsibilities have become severe. He's not a boy anymore. He's a leader carrying the weight of an entire world on his shoulders. But it's not just the clothes. His whole energy changes. He becomes calmer, quieter, and more tired in the way only real responsibility makes you tired. By the very end, we see him as a father, and even the small detail of his beard reinforces that something irreversible has happened to him. He grew up, fully, and the filmmakers hid the whole journey in what he was wearing. Did you catch it the first time, or did it fly completely under the radar? Number 2, did Toothless create the future of dragons, or their doom? Here's a theory that gets darker the more you think about it. Pure Night Furies survive by becoming part of the darkness. You can barely see them. The Light Fury does the exact opposite. Her bright scales let her vanish completely in daylight. Two perfect opposite survival systems. Together, they should have been unstoppable, but then came the Nightlights. Half black, half white. And that adorable design may actually be their biggest weakness. In darkness, they stand out. In daylight, they stand out. The very bloodline meant to carry both species forward may have lost the one ability that kept either of them alive. True invisibility. Gone. And remember how Hiccup first spotted Toothless? One plasma blast, one flash in the sky, a single moment of exposure, and the most invisible dragon in the world was suddenly found. So here's the real question. Did Toothless create the future of dragons, or a bloodline that's easier to hunt than anything that came before it? Comment future or flaw below. Number 3, are Brave and How to Train Your Dragon set in the same universe. The more you compare Merida and Hiccup, the stranger this gets. Both stories take place along the rugged Scottish coastline. Same cliffs, same cold seas, same fierce warrior culture built around honor and battle. That alone is interesting, but the timeline makes it genuinely strange. Brave is believed to take place in the late 900s. How to Train Your Dragon begins only a few decades later, close enough to be the same world. Now look at the leaders. King Fergus and Stoic the Vast share the same massive build, the same commanding presence, and the same fearless energy. They feel less like coincidences and more like they belong to the same lineage. And here's where it gets wild. Some fans believe Lord Dingwall could somehow connect to Grimmel the Grizzly, suggesting that the old Viking hunters of Brave eventually evolved into the cold, calculating dragon killers of Hiccup's world. Coincidence? Or one hidden universe nobody officially noticed? Comment connected or coincidence. Let's settle this. Number 4, the real reason Grimmel wiped out every Night Fury. At first, it seems simple. Grimmel hated dragons, so he hunted them. But look closer, and it gets much darker. He didn't just want to keep Night Furies away, he wanted to erase them completely, every last one. And he started with the rarest, fastest, most intelligent dragons alive. The hardest to catch, the most dangerous to face. Most people assume it was pure hatred. But here's the more chilling explanation. It was fear. Grimmel was one of the most calculated hunters in the world. He didn't make reckless decisions. So, ask yourself, why would a man obsessed with control spend years tracking down the one species most capable of stopping him? Because they were the only ones who could. He didn't destroy the Night Furies out of hate. He destroyed them because they were the one variable he couldn't control, the one species that could fight back and win. So he eliminated them first, one by one, until only Toothless remained, an entire species nearly gone. Not by war, not by accident, by one man's decision that the world was better without them. And he almost got exactly what he wanted. Number 5, Hiccup didn't defeat the Red Death by luck. Toothless showed him how. Here's the detail hiding in plain sight that almost nobody caught. The Dragon Manual had zero information about the Red Death. No weaknesses, no behavior, nothing. So how did Hiccup, a teenager with no combat experience, know exactly where to strike against the most powerful dragon in the world? Here's what most people missed. After earning Toothless's trust, Hiccup started learning things no Viking ever understood. Dragons feared certain creatures. They reacted to light in specific ways. They shared hidden biological traits that no one had ever bothered to study. And then there's a small scene most fans scroll right past. On an island, Toothless blasts a smaller dragon, and its stomach instantly expands from the inside out. Hiccup notices. He pauses. He thinks, what if that one moment taught him a secret that changed everything? Dragons may be completely fireproof on the outside, but on the inside, they're just as vulnerable as anything else. The Red Death's defeat wasn't luck. It was months of quiet observation paying off in one massive gamble. Or was it? Drop your theory below. Number 6. The Light Fury wasn't being aggressive. She was rescuing Toothless. Most people watched the Light Fury attack Hiccup and called her difficult. But from her perspective, everything she did made perfect sense. She didn't hate Hiccup personally. She hated what he represented: hunters, cages, control. So when she first spotted him and Astrid, she didn't see allies. She saw a threat, and she disappeared. But here's the detail most people completely miss. She never fully left. She watched from a distance, studying them, trying to understand. And when she saw Hiccup and Toothless flying together, something clicked in her mind. Toothless wasn't flying freely. He was being guided, directed, controlled by the human on his back. To her, Hiccup wasn't a partner, he was a master. So she did the only logical thing. She attacked, knocked Hiccup away, and tried to free Toothless from the only life she assumed he knew. Except nothing went the way she expected. Toothless didn't leave. He turned back. He chose Hiccup over freedom itself. And that single moment shattered everything she had ever believed about humans and dragons. Because Toothless wasn't staying out of fear, he was staying out of love. They weren't rider and dragon, they were family. The Light Fury, for the first time in her life, had absolutely no argument left. Number 7. What if Valka was hiding a Night Fury the whole time? This theory sounds wild at first, but the more you look at the evidence, the harder it is to ignore. In How to Train Your Dragon. 2. When Hiccup meets Valka for the first time, she instantly recognizes that he and Toothless are the same age.
He's your age!
That's already suspicious. How would she know that without prior knowledge of Night Furies specifically? But here's where it gets genuinely strange. Valka doesn't just understand dragons, she casually activates Toothless's alpha mode with a single gesture, something Hiccup, who had spent years with Toothless, had never seen before, never even knew was possible. Now consider what we know about Grimmel. He claims to have hunted every single Night Fury to extinction. And Valka has spent years quietly rescuing rare and injured dragons, far from any village, far from any record. What if Grimmel was wrong? What if Valka found a surviving Night Fury, studied it, learned its behavior, understood it on a level nobody else ever reached? And that's the real reason she knows exactly how Toothless works. The connection she has with him feels too deep for a first meeting. But here's the real question. Did Valka just study Night Furies from a distance? Or was she hiding one all along? Drop your theory in the comments. Number 8. Alpha dragons were never supposed to fly, and the movies prove it. Look closely at the Bewilderbeast's wings. Torn, burned, riddled with holes. Most people assume that's battle damage. But here's the thing. It's too consistent, too deliberate. That's a biological flaw. Now rewind to the first movie. Hiccup defeats the Red Death by targeting its wings, destroying them, forcing it to crash from the sky. Same vulnerability, different alpha, same result. And here's what makes this genuinely fascinating. Alpha dragons don't dominate through aerial combat. They dominate through psychic ground control, bending every dragon around them to their will through sheer presence and power. Flight isn't what makes them dangerous. Flight is what makes them exposed. Their real power is on the ground. In the air, they're just enormous targets. When Hiccup brought down the Red Death that way, he wasn't just winning a battle. He was accidentally discovering the one blind spot every alpha dragon in the world shares. And nobody in Berk ever realized what he'd actually found. Number 9. Bewilderbeast versus Red Death. Here's why it's not even close. This matchup sounds epic. 2 alpha-level monsters. The 2 most powerful dragons in the entire How to Train Your Dragon universe. But the fight isn't as close as it sounds. Here's why. Size, the Bewilderbeast absolutely dwarfs the Red Death. We're talking a massive gap in height, weight, and reach. That alone changes the entire dynamic of any confrontation. Raw power, both dragons have insane durability, but the Bewilderbeast fights like a living fortress. Those giant tusks aren't just for show, they're built for crushing, pinning, and destroying opponents through sheer overwhelming force. Mobility. And here's the real advantage nobody talks about. The Red Death relies on fire and flight. The Bewilderbeast can slip up completely underwater, reposition, and return from an angle the Red Death could never anticipate or avoid. One dragon rules the sky, the other controls the entire battlefield. But here's where it gets interesting. If the Red Death landed one full-power direct blast before the Bewilderbeast could submerge, could it actually turn the fight around? Or is it already over before it begins? Let us know below. Number 10. Astrid's belt, hide. One of the darkest secrets in the whole franchise. This one hides in plain sight, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. In the first movie, Gobber casually mentions that trolls steal his sock.
Trolls exist. They steal your socks, but only the left ones. What's with that?
Everyone laughs. The movie moves on. It's treated like a throwaway joke from a funny side character. But look closely at Astrid's belt. Small skulls running all the way around it. And those skulls don't look like dragon skulls. They look like tiny humanoid creatures. Here's what makes it even stranger. We always imagine trolls as giant, lumbering monsters, but Gobber's entire complaint is about missing socks, stolen from inside a Viking village at night, without anyone noticing. That describes something small, something fast, something that can move through Berk completely undetected, small enough to sneak past an entire village of battle-hardened Vikings, which means those skulls on Astrid's belt could absolutely be troll skulls. And knowing Astrid, and who has never once backed away from a fight in her life, she didn't just encounter trolls. She hunted every single one of them down, and then turned them into a fashion accessory. Which means Gobber wasn't joking at all, and Astrid knew exactly what those creatures were the whole time. She just never felt the need to tell anyone about it, which makes you wonder, what else has Astrid dealt with quietly, off-screen, that nobody in Berk ever found out about? And that's it! Which one got you? The Nightlights survival theory, or Astrid secretly hunting trolls for sport? Drop it in the comments. If you want part 2 where we go even deeper into the hidden details, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed, because we're just getting started.